Well, good afternoon, everybody. And guess who? Yeah, it's me again. So back here with another video, and it's been a while. Um, we had a copyright strike on on that last video with, after 23 seconds of, 12 seconds of Chet Atkins music. And so, of course, YouTube wanted me to re-edit and cut out that copyright strike, and which that ain't gonna happen. But anyway, um, I want to say that we got a few subscribers out of this, out of that video, and a whole lot of, several views of that video, and a couple of good comments. So if you like this content, uh, hit that subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, and hang out, and there'll be more videos, and not just on this subject, but today we're going to have another exciting episode in the adventures of plastic Hi-Fidelity. So I hope you stick around, and I hope you watch. So now, it's been a while since I made another video. I recently had a death in the family back in April, and lost my big sister. And so just kind of took off some time, to clear the mind and recuperate a little bit. And so I was going to do a video on the black Wildcat uh, phonograph I have, but I just thought I got something else that, I'm looking into here. So, first of all, as far as the little mono record player went, in the last video, and I was talking about not having a 45 RPM adapter, well, guess what? I found one, a genuine GE. Now, these are rare as hen's teeth, and when you get one, you usually have to wind up paying a premium price for it. But I didn't mind. This one wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, and I wasn't certain that it was the right one, because between the two of their primary record players, the little mono record players and the stereo Wildcats, there's two different sizes of these. The one for the Wildcat is shorter, has a shorter spindle. Now this one fits the mono perfectly, and it works. I ran many 45s over the top of this thing yesterday on the mono, and dropped each one of them with superior performance and efficiency. And this thing looks like, if you can see it down here at the bottom, this thing may have spun a lot of records in its day. Wow. But it was well worth the money, and I cleaned it up good and got it. I did hit the top air with a little chrome paint pen to match the tone arm on the little mono. And this one does fit, and that's amazing. Oh yeah. Now this is a different plinth, of course. This is the plinth and mechanism for the 1968 Wildcat I have. And that's going to be, this is, when I restore another one, this is going to be the one. This is very similar to the mono version, and still has the same sort of mechanism here. It's all the same. You adjust the size back here on the underneath the hold down arm. The tone arm looks exactly identical, and but as you can tell, this one has 4 wires on the cartridge, so it makes it a stereo version. But this cartridge is bad, so I've got to find a cartridge for it. So, and this is a static. number 142 cartridge. And so this is all very similar to the mono, except, well, let's drop it next time. Except for the fact that the mono doesn't have this little spring right here in that clip. See those notches? You know what those are for? Those are for setting the weight of the stylus, set down pressure on your record. So that black one back there, that black 75 Wildcat, does have that. The little mono over there does not. It's preset at the factory. So I guess it's according to, you know, at least one thing, I don't have to tape a penny to it or a nickel or something, you know, to get it to quit skipping. So, and there is the needle from that cartridge, but the cartridge is fried. Stuff was actually falling out of it. I don't know what it was, but see, still has the little static insignia on it. And if any of you were in the CB radio business back in the day, you know what a static is. You know, the D104 mic, but really popular truckers, you know, hand mic. Static made some good stuff. And so this is the plinth for it. Of course, I've got to scrape all this off and clean it up and glue the mat back down. That ain't no problem. Other than it needs a lot of cleaning. And hang on just a second and we'll be right back. Okay, so we're back and the light is terrible, but this is the working side of that plinth. Now, this is identical, absolutely identical to the mono record player. There's that really good made in USA AC powered motor. Now, I haven't been into this one hardly at all. Oh, the motor is still attached. There's the model number of the mechanism. They're different from the, you know, you've got a mechanism model number and you've got a model number for the overall phonograph. RD500-2. And so this one was made in 1968. You can see how heavy this stuff is. I mean, this was really good metal that they put all this together with. I wish the light was better in here, I'm sorry, but it's pretty poor. And we're going to be working on that too. So now all these rods connect to all these, you know, it's just basic mechanical, you know. I mean, I actually like it because it is. And this one's got a few cobwebs, and there's your main electrical connector. Somebody's already been into this once before. You can tell them. And what I liked about these motors, and they all have the same motor, basically the same. That little hole right there, that's there's a pad under there that you saturate with oil, you know, helps to keep your motor lubricated. Very well built, extremely well built. And I imagine they were built to take some abuse, you know, for what they were supposed to be, just a, you know, basic portable record player. You know, slam it around, drop it, you know, where you don't drop it because the plastic would just absolutely fly into a million pieces. And so there's the bottom. Okay, be right back. Okay, so we turned it back over and we took the platter off. And as you can see, some of this stuff, you know, is actually in much better condition than I thought it would be the first time I saw it. The idler wheel is actually still kind of flexible where it's supposed to be, still pliable. These rubber grommets is, the ones from the little mono were just absolutely just devastated. I mean, they were just broken into so many pieces, and the motor just barely hanging in there by these seat clips. So yeah, but stuff like that, and then it takes the grommet. This has got the big holes in it, so you'll have to use these same kind of grommets on the outside here, and they're easy to get on YouTube. I mean, not YouTube, but you know what I'm talking about. eBay. Yeah. Okay, my bad. And so when you, oh yeah, it still works really well. So this is going to be an interesting project. I know you can't see down in there, but well, you can a little bit. Hang on, man. Let's see what we got here. See if we can shed a little light on the subject down in there. Yeah, there you go. You can see that's the bearings. But the platter sits on. Yeah, there's one of the washers in the bottom of the platter. And then here's the bottom of the platter. Now this one is really lightweight compared to the other two that I've got. Kind of strange. Sorry about that. My mind was drifting there for a moment. But all this has got to be scraped off and, replaced. And so, yeah, good stuff. Another fun project coming up. Look at that. They put a lot of glue up to keep it on there, but it didn't stay, right? So, okay, now get back here to what we were talking about. So this is another upcoming project. Now, when we talk about Wildcats, the Wildcats were obviously very popular to some people back in the day. Of course, they're not now. It's like just having a nostalgic piece of, just having a nostalgic antique, and it happens to be a working record player. Well, I don't look at it that way. I've got two that I use just about every day. I'll play records on, especially since I got the 45 adapter, because I play all my mono records on that little mono record player, and I've got several mono 45s. So yeah, so glad to get that. And I think the guy that had it on eBay, I appreciate him too, and getting it. He got it here really quick, so good deal. Now, with this Wildcat, and I'm going to tell you, there are many, many videos on YouTube about these Wildcats, and some of the other ones too, but they never really go into what, what they're made of, or what they're like. Now this one is like the mono. It's metal plinth. The other two Wildcats I've got are the plastic. Now, I'll show you the difference between some of this stuff. Now, this right here is the board for this 68 model. This is the amplifier board. Now, yeah, okay, that's better. Now, it has heat sinks on the outputs, and they're matching outputs. And then it has many, many more components on it, bigger pots, everything than the other two do, the newer models. And this one, I don't know if you can, maybe I can get the light there to see it, focus in on it. But that sticker down there at the bottom says 68. And so this board, now we'll get into that too, but this board is a proprietary GE board. Now I'll tell you the difference between them in a minute. So this one, actually says 65 on the bottom. But look at that. That's a beautiful board. You get to see where everything's at. And so, day before yesterday, I reworked this board. All new capacitors, all the electrolytics. I changed it out with some very good Nichicon, except for one, that's a Vichy. But that's a new capacitor, all new capacitors. I cleaned the pots, sprayed them with some good deoxit product. And the other thing I did is I made a little bit of a mess there, but I took these heat sinks off, and all of the old heat sink compound that was on there was just powder. So I cleaned them up real good, put on some new heat sink compound, and put them back in there on the outputs, so they're good to go again if they're still in good shape. And the other thing I replaced was this rectifier diode right here. Now, if we can see it on camera, I'm going to show you that. There it is. Well, come here. This is the old one. Now this thing looked like it was been stressed out a lot over the years. Now it wasn't open or shorted, but it was leaky. I mean, very, very leaky. And if you know anything about semiconductors, what leaky means, even in capacitors or anything else, but this just wasn't any good at all. And so it was replaced with a general purpose rectifier diode. And so now, as far as the capacitors, see that little one right there? That was the original one. You see the size difference? Isn't that crazy? But this one here looked like it was about ready to pop its cork. Been in there a long time. Matter of fact, some of these actually, was made in '66. Probably the 48th week of '66. The rest of them are just way out of specs. And there's 7 in total. And so they were just horrible, way high, way up into the hundreds. And there was more of these than there were anything else. So, but they were all replaced with Nichicons. And I get my materials from Mauser Electronics. And I suggest if you have never done business with them, look into it. Great people to do business with. I left the wires on here so I would absolutely know where this one all goes back together. It's pretty simple. These are the 3 wires that will hook up to what it's underneath, but there's a terminal strip under there. But I thought this was just so interesting that it was made like this, because the newer ones, like that one back there and the other one I've got, this is the amplifier board for them. Tell the difference? Oh yeah. No heat sinks on the outputs, much smaller pots. One thing I can say though, these pots are made in Japan. They are good quality. But this is an identical board to the one that's in the 75. There are some differences, like if you look right there at D2, that's a diode, but it's a 3-leg diode. Well, that's definitely old school there, folks. So, and if you'll see, This board was made in Ireland. So the one over here in the black Wildcat, 72. That one over says 75. So, yeah. Now, I haven't recapped this one, and I probably will. I do have the capacitors for it. So we're probably going to do that just to have this for a spare, since the rest of the record player is junk. We got spare parts, spare plastic, spare just about everything. But there's a huge difference in these two. I mean, huge. From GE's proprietary to getting them made in Ireland by some company, I don't know. But all the dates match. Let's see if we can see it. Yeah, if you'll notice that pot right there, 72, 72, 72. Quite amazing. And so, yep, that's probably the main reason that I'm going to restore this soon. I've got a couple other projects going on before this. And so, next video, I'm going to be featuring the, sorry about that, featuring the black Wildcat. And so, that was my knee. Right there anyway. I got it covered up to keep the dust off of it. I don't always have to close the cover. And so, yep, it's going to be a fun project, and I hope you enjoyed it. Oh, wait a minute, one more thing. I'll be right back. Now, this is the other thing I wanted to show you real quick. This is Wildcat plastic. Now, this is basically the compilation of two Wildcats. We have the beige speakers and the beige bottom that matches like the old mono. Now, the original back, somebody drilled holes in it, and it's ugly and it's horrible, and they did a horrible job and really screwed it up. So we're going to use this one. So we're going to have a two-tone model, which I think it looks pretty good, but I want y'all to tell me what you think. Of course, it all matches, you know, it's all the same. The 1968s, you know, where they made this plastic in 68 goes along with the 1972. And just fine, you know, so, yep. GE stereo. And even this one has the old Wildcat insignia on it right there, so it's not printed out, it's written in cursive. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing with that. So, okay, you know, nearly 24 minutes on this video, and so, okay, another in-depth look at the world of plastic Hi-Fidelity and the little General Electric old antique record players. So, and saving them, that's the key point. That's the main thing for me. Irregardless of what happens to them after I have them, I'm just saving them for now. Maybe somebody else like me in my age would enjoy that, but yeah. Okay, folks, thanks for watching. You know what to do. Hit all them buttons, and we'll see you in the next video.